What's up again, viewers? Brian here. Now, before I get into this episode of the People's Questions, there are two good friends out there that I would like to wish a special shout out. Now, I didn't do too well with my last shout out, so I decided to make a video just for you two. So please like it, hopefully, and comment on it. And I'm going to change clothes and get ready for the People's Questions. And here's your shout out. Hope you guys like it.
One, two, three, four.
Hello viewers, and welcome to another episode of People's Questions. I'd first like to get off by congratulating the winner of episode 10's People's Questions to DigitalMan123, who managed to get the answer correctly of what were my top 5 favorite video game characters of all time in order. And they range from this. Number 1, the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. Number 2, Big Boss. Number 3, Solid Snake. Number 4, Scorpion. And number 5 is Kratos. Those are my top 5 favorite characters. And since he now has already received his $20 gift card, and I'm sure he's spending it wisely. And now to get to your questions. DigitalMan123, last Friday's winner, would like to know, if I could live in any one video game, which would it be? I'd probably have to say the one video game I'd like to live in would probably be the Kingdom Hearts world, simply because, it's not really one world, it's multiple worlds, and I could hang out with some of my favorite childhood characters, and I don't know, maybe sharing some adventures, along with meeting some of the Final Fantasy characters that really influenced me growing up. Had a lot of great adventures with those guys, and I don't know, I guess meeting some of the individual individual Kingdom Hearts characters like Sora, Riku, and a couple others. I'm sure they'd be real interesting characters too, because I don't know, I guess if I were to visit them now, if you continue on from 2, they'd be about my age, so we'd kind of all be in the same age group. And I don't know, I guess going around swinging a giant key as a sword and unlocking doors and, fighting off Heartlesses and nobodies and, whatnot. I think that would be pretty fun to pull off. So yeah, as for which world, Kingdom Hearts for sure. Robin Jr. 45 would like to know, what are my thoughts on the possible upcoming God of War 4 game? I'm a little on the fence on a God of War 4, simply because I've really spent a lot of time thinking about it, and in terms of storyline, I'm really not sure where they could go. The PSP games have really filled in the gaps between the mainstream games, seeing how Chains of Olympus came before God of War, and then Ghost of Sparta took place after 1 and before 2, so there really aren't many gaps, and 2 really took off right before 3, so there wouldn't even be time to put a game in between there. And with all the gods dead, and supposedly Kratos dead, I really am not sure where they could go with the storyline. The only explanation I could really come up with is, well, as we all know, Kratos likes to screw around a lot, so chances are he has a bunch of, I don't know, bastard children out there, so maybe the story could, I don't know, maybe the story could revolve around one of them in particular, maybe, because, I don't know, by this time, we're probably now getting into the biblical era, which which could lead really into a whole new set of games that would revolve around completely different elements. But at that point, you really couldn't call it God of War anymore. It would be something completely different. And another thing I also heard that they might be trying to do is add multiplayer, which, I don't know, I'm not really into that idea. I mean, quite recently, Mass Effect 3 added multiplayer in it, and, sorry, dogs. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I just, in terms of multiplayer, I'm not sure how that could work with a hack and slash. I don't recall seeing, I can't think of really any multiplayer games that do hack and slash very well, simply because the gameplay would just simply be a bit too all over the place, and it wouldn't be, it wouldn't flow very well. There's certain games that can do multiplayer, like shooter games and racing games, and maybe some air simulators, but I don't think anyone can really do hack and slashes very good, or at least on like a small scale, because I don't know, I guess on a large scale battle it would just be just a little chaotic. So I'm not sure what their plans are for a God of War 4 game if it ever comes out. I'm definitely willing to give it a chance, but I don't know, chances are it wouldn't have Kratos in it, and I wouldn't expect it to, but you know, we'll see. Next question comes from Wolfman's Ghost, and he wants to know how many consoles have I had and which one was my favorite. Okay, let's give me a second. I'm gonna go down the list. The first console, well, not really console, I guess handheld game I ever, or console, I guess you just handheld I ever got was the Game Boy Pocket, which I believe, if many of you remember out there, was the first Game Boy, and it was huge. I mean, I don't know why they called it that, because you couldn't fit that in your pocket, and it was like a black and orange, yellowish green. And the first game I ever played was Super Mario Land, and I really never got a chance to finish beating that. Maybe one day if I ever get another Game Boy, which I do have, I would definitely like to try giving that game another shot. And then after that, in my family we used to do what was called a pass-me-downs, and so after that I then upgraded to a Sega Genesis, and the only two games I played on that were Jurassic Park and Sonic 2, which, you know, I never even got past the first world on that. And then with the arrival of my cousin DeAndre, I was then introduced to consoles, and the first one I remember playing was the Super Nintendo, which I had a lot of fun with. Playing Super Mario Brothers, and there was this Michael Jordan game. I'm not sure if you guys remember, and there were games like Shaq Fu out there, and just a large collection of games I had fun with. And then the first console that I personally got, not that I was interested, was the Nintendo 64. I didn't have many games on my Nintendo 64. I think I only had maybe less than 10 games, and I can even remember all of them. I had Super Mario 64, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Diddy Kong's Racing, and I think that was about it. I wasn't really too into gaming until my brother introduced me to the PlayStation, so I didn't have a PlayStation myself. I just played his a lot whenever I had a chance to. And then after that, when I got to middle school, I then got the PlayStation 2, which, you know, I absolutely fell in love with and was hooked. I would play it every day. And I built one of the largest video game libraries that I've ever had. And now I have the PlayStation 3 and a Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii, I don't have many games for my Wii. I think I have only like 4 right now, but there's one game in particular I have had a lot of fun with, more than any other game or in its genre. And with my PlayStation 3, that one officially has the largest collection. I have like over 80 games. I'm really getting close to 100, so I guess I'm getting close to fulfilling one of my New Year's resolutions. But if I had to pick one which was really my favorite, I'd have to go with my PlayStation 2, simply because it was really the last. It was the last console, in my opinion, that really defined what it was to play games in person and not over the internet. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing with people around the network, but it's just I've always had more fun playing games with someone in person than I have over, through an online connection, because in my opinion, it's never as fluid as it is. And so, yeah, that was all my consoles, and PlayStation 2 would definitely be my favorite. And the last question comes from Sparta Boy 12K. Damn birds. Sorry. And he would like to know, what are the 3 happiest days of my life? That's a tough one. I know without a doubt which was number 1. But if I had to pick 2 other days, I guess number 3 would be the day I played Final. I guess the day I finally beat Final Fantasy VII. Because if you've seen my past episodes of People's Questions, you would know that it took me over 10 years to finally beat Final Fantasy VII, which that's a whole other story. And I guess the second happiest day of my life was I guess it might be when I went to college for the first time, because I was kind of living out my dream. And absolutely number 1, absolutely, would be, he's probably watching this right now. I know you can't remember this, but I'm gonna bring it up again. So, was the day I got my ass kicked. Damn, it's a jungle out here. Damn. The day I got my ass kicked in 2nd grade. Now, I know that sounds a little odd for being one of the happiest days, but trust me, that single day and what happened that day allowed me to meet a young boy who would end up growing up to be, without a doubt, the greatest man I've ever known. The greatest man I will ever know. And that is my episode of the People's Questions. I don't really have a question for you guys today, but if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and subscribe up top. And if you have any questions or any that you would like me to answer on my next episode of the People's Questions, please comment down below. If you have any video, movies, or games that you would like me to review, please comment them down below also, and I will get them out as fast as I can. And like always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.